Stephen Howson, Full-Time Devils. I'm outside a really cold Old Trafford. This is the transfer review. This is the video where you can find out what's going on with all the ins and all the outs of Manchester United in one easy to digest video and then move on with your life. First up on the ins, we've got Toni Kroos, a player that I am a massive fan of. Potential replacement for Carrick, not identical, but I think he would serve the same sort of purpose that Michael Carrick serves in this current Manchester United side. Probably a little bit of an improvement as well, if we're honest. Absolute fantastic midfielder, someone who really dictates the game, someone who Manchester United came extremely close to signing, all agreed and everything under Louis van Gaal, until Louis van Gaal decided that he didn't want him. Absolute madness. Anyway, this is in the Independent. Miguel Delaney's talking about this one, and he seems that Manchester United are looking to go with a really honed in target approach this summer. If it goes off last summer, we did really well identifying and securing our targets with the absolute minimal of fuss. I would expect it to go down pretty similar this summer. Toni Kroos, if he's on that list, makes me have a warm and fuzzy feeling inside. I like the sound of this one. I like the idea of this one. The problem is Real Madrid. Do they need our money? They don't need our money. What do they need? They need a lad that stands in between the nets, don't they? That worries me. That being said, I do think we can probably sign Toni Kroos from Real Madrid. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This one's in the sun. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to replace Michael Carrick. Mate, let me just slow it down here. Have you ever seen Michael Carrick play football? Have you ever seen Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain play football? How are they one replacing the other? It's like saying we're going to sign Pele to replace David De Gea. This is absolute nonsense from the Sun. Again, this is ridiculous journalism. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is a guy that plays predominantly on the left-hand side of Arsenal's attack when he plays, and that's not very often. It's a place that we're stacked. Is he going to get in ahead of Anthony Martial? No. Is he going to get in ahead of Mkhitaryan or Rashford or even Juan Mata? No. This is an absolute bogus nonsense report. 0 out of 10. Get the fuck out of here. This one's in the UR Daily Star. This is Bruma of Galatasaray. A nice winger, a very good player, a player that's definitely going to be on the radars of some of the big clubs around Europe. Now, the president of Galatasaray has been talking, and it sounds like, when you read the actual quotes that's being said, I mean, all right, let's back it up. The headline says, Bruma wants to play for Manchester United. Awesome. He also says he wants to play for Barcelona and Real Madrid. I think what the president is getting at is, because he mentions that there's a lot of work to be done for Bruma in his game. I think he's basically saying, and it's been paraphrased and translated wrong, he's basically saying, if he wants to play for those clubs, which he does want, he's got ambitions of playing for clubs like that, then he needs to work on certain aspects of his game. I think it's a perfectly fine quote from the president of Galatasaray. It's not the player that's coming out and saying this, it's him speaking on his behalf. I think he's basically saying, look, the lad's a good player, he's got ambitions of playing for some of the top clubs in Europe. He doesn't specifically mean that the guys come to him, knocked on his door and said, sell me to Manchester United. 1 out of 10. Semedo. Now, this one's one that's rumbling on. Do you know what? I'm absolutely sick to death for talking about Benfica players coming to Manchester United. The problem that we've got is that Manchester United are scouting in Portugal at every single top flight game because we've got that many scouts in Portugal. Benfica's one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in Portugal, so clearly we're going to be looking at a lot of their players, aren't we? Now, Semedo's in a position that we're not exactly the strongest in. Tony Valencia's having a hell of a season at right back, but Semedo's a younger, more polished version of what you've got there in Tony Valencia. A little bit better going forward, certainly better technically defending. I can understand the reasons for this transfer. Now, Sports Witness, our friends at Sports Witness, are saying that the president of Benfica is in Manchester to negotiate a €40 million deal with Semedo coming to Manchester United. Now, is this like the Lindelof deal where they're negotiating it by trying to sell him like door-to-door salesmen with mops and brooms and marigolds, right? Is that what they're doing? Are they just hawking him around all the clubs in Europe? Because that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like, to me, Manchester United have rocked up and gone, that's the man for us, let's get him. It feels like Benfica are trying to force him on us, and I don't think that's how Manchester United do business. I do think Semedo is a player that we are at least a little bit interested in, but I don't think it's anywhere near as much as Benfica would like to think it is, so I'm going to say 4 out of 10. And it's Griezmann time. Do you know what? Shall we start the Pogba watch thing? Should we restart it again with Griezmann? I think we're going to have to, aren't we? So, Antoine Griezmann, well, not really him. It's his brother, Theo, the biggest dick tease in the history of dick teases. He's come out and he's done what he always does. I mean, if he just comes out and says, look, I'm a United fan, don't read anything into it, I'm a United fan, so I'm posting stuff, posting pictures of United, buzzing when United score on Twitter and stuff like that, that's cool. But don't lose your rag with everyone like he did a couple of weeks ago, maybe on the back of our video when we asked him, when Manchester United fans tweet you saying, what's going on with your brother? You're putting it out there, mate. You are one of the main reasons that people think it's coming because you're buzzing off it happening. If you want to separate yourself, just say, look, what my brother does is what my brother does. I'm a United fan, don't read anything into it, and it would stop probably about 10% of this nonsense that's coming on. Does it mean Griezmann's coming because his brother's tweeting him? No, it doesn't. Do I think he's coming? Yes, I do. Do I know why I think he's coming? Not really. But it sounds like personal terms was agreed a long time ago with his representatives. It just needs to be agreed with Atletico Madrid. And do you know what? That could be a massive stumbling block. Griezmann at United, 7 out of 10. That was the ins, this is the outs. There's only one place that we're starting with the outs, and that is with Wayne Rooney. Now, a lot of these transfer rumours, they're just that, they're just rumours, but there's a lot of concrete stuff in this, so let's start with it. So Jose Mourinho kicked it all off in a press conference by saying he would not force a club legend out of the door. Now, when you just think about what, I mean, I always say don't take what managers, agents, players say at face value, but I think what Jose Mourinho was saying, without really saying it, was there's some offers on the table. If he wants to go, he can go, but I'm not going to force him out the door. I think that's fine. I think that's not a bad stance for Jose Mourinho to take. Then, Paul Stretford was seen, reported by the BBC, so that's one that you take at face value pretty much, in China. Clearly probably negotiating for Wayne Rooney, because I don't know how many clients he's got, but I think Rooney's clearly his main one, about a deal for Rooney to go to China. And then Rooney almost basically confirms everything that was happening himself when he releases a statement saying that he's staying. Doesn't say how long he's staying for, doesn't say, listen, I want to retire here, doesn't say anything of those sorts, just says, I'm staying at United. So I think that means at least until after Tuesday, when the Chinese transfer window shuts. So when we break all this down and we look at it, you go, do you know what? I think this was extremely close to coming off. I wonder if that Paul Stretford went over there, they looked at all the different terms, and Rooney went, do you know what? I don't want to leave under such a weird set of circumstances. He is loved at this club. Whether you think he's a legend or not, that's an entirely different conversation, but he is loved at this club. He's had a fantastic career at this club, and I think it would be wrong for him to just be shunted out the door in February to go to China. If he is going to leave Manchester United, I think the summer, and I do think he is going to leave Manchester United, I think the summer is the time for him to do that. Finish the season, hopefully pick up a couple more cups as captain of Manchester United, and then move in the summer when it all feels a little bit more organic and doesn't feel so rushed. Having a transfer of this magnitude completed by Tuesday next week, it's hard to do, I think, isn't it? So I think what Paul Stretford's probably done and what Wayne Rooney's probably done is they've put it to bed right now, they've cleared it out, they've stopped the rumours, but I do think that he was probably over there negotiating for the move to happen in the summer. Paul Stretford's not jumping on a plane and going to China just to say no, is he? So I think there was definitely something that went on over there. And we will see as the season unfolds. The rumours aren't going to go away. I think the rumours might even increase as we get closer towards the end of the season. Definitely think there's something in this. If I'm going to rate Rooney to China, obviously not this week, but for the summer, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. So, can you believe it? The window ended only a month ago and we are still packing out videos with so much transfer content because it never ends, does it? The window is just when you can sign them, not when you can make lies up about them, newspapers. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to get your comments in, make sure to get them likes in, those subscribes in, hit that notification button so you always get a notification when we upload a video. And have we missed any of these transfers? Is any that you wish we'd have talked about? Bang it in the comments below. Loads of content coming out. We'll see you soon.